Rahim. All praises are due to Allah. We thank Him. We seek for His assistance. And we ask Him to give us refuge from the evil of ourselves and the erroneousness of our actions. He who Allah guides is the guided, and he who Allah causes to be misguided can never attain guidance. And may Allah's benedictions and blessings be sent to the last and the seal of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow their tracks to the day of resurrection. I am Shamsuddeen bin Abdul Hamid Al-kanawy, and I welcome you to the Al-kanawy Islamic Studies. Today I'm going to introduce one of my projects in the year 1441 Hijri, which is known as the Ibn Taymiyyah project, and is titled Understanding Ibn Taymiyyah as he expresses himself in his books. Or you can also refer to this project as like the books of Ibn Taymiyyah explain who is he. And this project is aimed at looking at the ideas, the views, and the positions of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah from the perspective of how modern intellectuals, thinkers, writers, and activists see it. I don't mean that the project is going to interpret the ideas of Ibn Taymiyyah according to how the contemporary writers see them. Now, the project is going to carry out a kind of comparative assessment between what modern thinkers, intellectuals, and writers, and even Islamists and non-Islamist activists say about Ibn Taymiyyah, and what his actual stand in his books and his works say about him. What makes this project important is first the status of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah as one of the most, one of the historically most influential thinkers and intellectuals in the Muslim world. And second, his status and one of the most outstanding scholars who have authored multiple voluminous books. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah's works is estimated to number about 500 volumes, as Ibn Abdul Hadi see it, and not necessarily Ibn Abdul Hadi, as some of his biographers and commentators of his book see it. And Ibn Abdul Hadi precisely said Ibn Taymiyyah is صاحب التصانيف التي لم يسبق إلى مثله. He is the author of unprecedented intellectual works in the history of Islam. So we are going to look at this rich treasure of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah as much as time and resources permit us. And thirdly, because Ibn Taymiyyah is seen by so many writers and intellectuals as one of the most polarizing figures in the history of Islam. That is to say, there is a very heated dispute and argument about Ibn Taymiyyah by intellectuals and thinkers while many people, including intellectuals and commoners, see him to be a great reformist in the history of Islam, others see him as a kind of icon of misguidance and controversy in the sphere of Islamic intellectuality. And one thing about Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah is actually many people tend to draw conclusions about Ibn Taymiyyah that are not substantiated with real evidence, real academic evidence from his works. For instance, his contemporaries like Alauddin al-Bukhari think negatively about Ibn Taymiyyah. He went to the extent of condemning Sheikh al-Islam, not only Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah as a kafir, but he condemned every person that reveres or think positively of Ibn Taymiyyah. He authored a book ruling that anybody that sees Ibn Taymiyyah as a Sheikh of Islam, sees him as a reformer of Islam, or see him as an authority in Islam, is a kafir. So one of the disciples of Ibn Taymiyyah, namely Ibn Nasiruddin al-Dimashqi, had tried a rejoinder on that. He wrote his famous work الرد الوافر على من زعم أن من سمى ابن تيمية الشيخ الإسلامي كافر. The rejoinder that refuted the claims of those who say anybody that believes Ibn Taymiyyah to be an authority of Islam is a kafir. And when we come a little down during the next centuries or 3 centuries after Ibn Taymiyyah, Al-Imam Shihabuddin ibn Hajar al-Haytami. Al-Haytami was a Shafi'i theologian and faqih, jurist. He issued a fatwa in his famous book Al-Fatawa al-Hadithiyya, where he painted Ibn Taymiyyah very badly. He referred to Ibn Taymiyyah as somebody whose mental faculty was unbalanced, and somebody who is a kafir, a person who harbors a lot of hostility to the true teachings of Islam, and a person who tried to distort Islam and Islamic belief. And what Ibn Hajar said about Ibn Taymiyyah, according to intellectuals and critics, was not real. It was not real. Many intellectuals concluded that Ibn Hajar al-Haytami said a lot of, or ascribed a lot of atrocities to Ibn Taymiyyah, to the books of Ibn Taymiyyah, that cannot be traced in the Taymiyyah literature. And Al-Imam Khairuddin al-Alusi wrote a refutation of Ibn Hajar's position on Ibn Taymiyyah, and he said, I have seen that Al-Imam Ibn Hajar al-Haytami رماه فيها بثالثة الأثافل. He has used every resource available within his fatwa to disparage Ibn Taymiyyah and paint him very badly. وعزا إليه وحاشاه كل عيب ضافي. And he exploited every corner of that fatwa to give Ibn Taymiyyah a very negative representation in his work, attributing to him every atrocity he could think of. ونسب إليه بعض العقائد. He attributed to him a number of beliefs التي لم يكن البعض منها مسطورا في كتبه, many of which cannot be traced in the works of Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah never say or promote these purported beliefs assumed by Ibn Hajar al-Haytami to be part of the views of Ibn Taymiyyah. And he says ولم يكن البعض منها مسطورا في كتبه وليس له بالبعض الآخر سوء المقاصد. And some of the views attributed to Ibn Taymiyyah by Ibn Hajar al-Haytami have no any negative implications on the Islamic theology whatsoever. And مع أنه صرح في سائر كتبه بخلاف تلك المرويات وبضد تلك المعزوات. He says, and Ibn Taymiyyah in his different works, in separate works, he made references to ideas that exempt him from the assumed views attributed to him by Ibn Hajar al-Haytami. So in essence, this reference demonstrates how some scholars and intellectuals, Ibn Hajar al-Haytami inclusive, attribute to Ibn Taymiyyah views that are passed by the adversaries and critics of Ibn Taymiyyah that have no base whatsoever. So if a person as educated, as well-grounded in Islamic sciences as Ibn Hajar al-Haytami could attribute to Ibn Taymiyyah baseless views and ideas, what do you think of commoners and the laymen? So these notify us to carry out a project of exploring the stance of many intellectuals and thinkers about Ibn Taymiyyah, and how can we assess these views about Ibn Taymiyyah and trace their originality to his works. So if time and resources permit, we are going to be selecting views attributed to Ibn Taymiyyah and analysis made about him by thinkers one after the other to clarify their subjectivity or objectivity, and to confirm whether they are original in the Taymiyyah teachings. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. See you next time.